Hello everyone, welcome back to another Doctor Who news video. I haven't done one of these in a while because there hasn't been much Doctor Who news to talk about, but we've had a recent article from the Mirror saying that Hugh Grant has been tipped to be the next Doctor. Now the reason I'm giving this any time of day is because the Mirror has a history of getting a couple of things right when it comes to Doctor Who. I believe they predicted the Ryan Graham departure. I think they also predicted Jodie regenerating this year along with the couple of specials. They said 2 originally, but it was obviously 3 instead. But still, they have a pretty reliable track record when it comes to Doctor Who news, hence why I am reading this article. But before we get into it, if you could just do me a teeny little favour and click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 11,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We're only 200 subscribers away, so if you could subscribe, I'd be very, very grateful. But with that said, let's get into the article. Exclusive, Hugh Grant tipped to be new Doctor Who in Marvel-style makeover for the hit show. The actor first played the Doctor in the 1999 comic relief sketch, but turned down the role when he was asked by Russell T Davies when the show was rebooted in 2007. It was rebooted in 2005, but okay. Doctor Who may be heading for a Marvel-style makeover with Hugh Grant piloting the TARDIS, says a TV insider. Showrunner Russell T Davies is taking back control of the TARDIS in the sci-fi series in time for its 60th anniversary in 2023. The insider said Davies is keen for the 4 weddings and a funeral star, 61, to bring a fresh feel to the role. They added, he offers many attributes, great actor, British award-winning, Hollywood, A-lister, and excellent at comedy. Conversations are in progress. Davies is also said to want to expand the Doctor's horizons. So this is interesting for a couple of reasons, right? Obviously, we know that Russell likes to pull from a talent pool that he's already familiar with working with to a certain degree. Obviously, with Chris Eccleston, he worked with him on The Second Coming, and he was aware of Tennant via his work on Casanova. And if Hugh Grant had already been considered once before for the role, then it makes sense that he'd consider him again. The words Marvel-style makeover, a lot of people have been debating them. Honestly, I think that could just mean a bigger budget. I don't think it necessarily means an MCU-style thing. I mean, I'd love it if it did, but I think when they say Marvel-style, they just mean bigger scale, bigger budget. And with Hugh Grant being such an established actor as well, it's bound to bring in new people who are aware of Hugh Grant. Russell T Davies will be writing the series for its 60th anniversary in 2023. The insider said the vision is that the show can be a Marvel-like product, building franchises around the Doctor. Okay, so they are going for the MCU style thing, and other key characters in his many lives. Davies is said to be backed by a BBC Worldwide commercial and Sony Pictures TV, which brought a major majority stake in Wolf Studios, which makes the show. The source added, with the utmost respect to the BBC, in the past attempts like Torchwood were made on a very limited budget in locations around Wales. Now the world is Russell's oyster. Very interesting. I'd love more spin-offs, but I do think we need a solid, good first series before we start doing spin-offs. Davies was responsible for Doctor Who's phenomenal revival in 2005. Interesting how they get it right here, but then say 2007 in the opening. After 16 years off the air and for turning the show into a global phenomenon, when he left, Stephen Moffat took over, and most recently Chris Chibnall, but ratings have gone from bad to worse. Harsh, but okay. This year, Jodie Whittaker's last shows as the 13th Time Lord will air before her and Chris Chibnall depart. Yes, technically, but it's also important to mention that they have actually left. These are just the last couple episodes. Grant was nominated for a BAFTA for playing politician Jeremy Thorpe in Davies' miniseries, A Very English Scandal in 2018. Okay, so yeah, that goes back to what I was saying before of Davies liking to work with people he's already familiar with and already has a working relationship with. I'm surprised Hugh Grant's name hasn't come up more, considering he worked with him as recently as 2018 and was considered for the role of the Doctor and played him in the 1999 comic relief sketch. He feels like an obvious one that the bookies would go for, but interesting that that hasn't really happened as far as I can tell. The star played a version of the 12th Doctor in a 1999 comic relief sketch written by Moffat, and 5 years later Davies offered him the role in 2007. Wait, so he offered it him in 2007, but Tennant was still the Doctor, unless they were looking for an 11th Doctor at the time, I don't know. Or no, actually, it could be for the next Doctor with David Morrissey, maybe that's what they're talking about. He admitted, it's only when you see it on screen you think, damn, that was good, why did I say no? I reckon they could be referring to the next Doctor there, not the actual full-time Doctor, because the timeline doesn't match up if it is in fact 2007, which they've reiterated twice. A very interesting article nonetheless, and honestly, of the Doctor rumours that we've seen, this is the one where I'm like, yeah, this one makes the most sense. He's an established British actor, he's worked with Russell recently, he's already been considered for the role once before, He is an older actor, so we'd be returning to the more Capaldi-style Doctor of, a slightly older character, which I think is good to keep things fresh. I know there is a lot of concern over the idea of, returning to a man so quickly after Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, and I do understand that, but I suppose at the end of the day, it's gonna be 50-50 anyway, right? In terms of who they go for, they're either going to go for a man or a woman. And I think even if Russell casts a Doctor that isn't a woman or a person of colour, the rest of his cast is guaranteed to be really diverse and really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing whatever he does. Comment down below your thoughts on the possibility of Hugh Grant being the next Doctor. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later. Shout outs to Debs Iona, Simon Ashley, Steve Safaro, Shane Smith, Patrick Mewson, Ree Kevin, Seb Lowndes, Jay Monroe, Preston, Hash Shandycoot, and Human Being. If you want to become a member, feel free to do so. It really helps out. You get exclusive posts, shout outs in every video, and even your own badge and custom emojis to use.